Coming up in the news, Cannabis Secretariat reminds the public that cannabis decriminalization provisions are not yet in effect. And Grenada is ready for 6 days of women's international cricket. Details to these stories and more, plus a look at news in the region when we return. Back with the details to the GIS news for Friday, February 13th. I am Rakisha St. Louis. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell officially welcomed Dr. Terence Drew to Grenada as part of his regional outreach aimed at strengthening unity, collaboration, and strategic coordination among Caribbean leaders. The visit comes ahead of the upcoming Caribbean Community Heads of Government meeting scheduled to take place in St. Kitts from February 24th to the 27th. Prime Minister Drew, who currently serves as chairman of CARICOM, explained that the series of visits across the region is intended to help chart the way forward for the upcoming meeting, secure recommitment from regional heads, and build consensus on the direction the community will take over the next few years.
The purpose of these visits is really to sit with the leaders one-on-one and, eyeball to eyeball, have deep discussion with them on CARICOM. We understand, and everybody knows by now, that CARICOM is going through its own challenges. And so sitting with the leaders and hearing their point of view is really a way of seeking consensus and recommitment and really making whatever necessary changes are to be made to ensure that CARICOM continues to be a vital organization in the region. CARICOM contributes significantly. Think about CSEC. Everybody who does a CSEC exam is as a result of CARICOM. When we think about RSS, Regional Security System, everybody knows that if there's an issue with security in a particular country, the RSS stands ready. CDEMA, which helps to prepare countries before disaster, during disaster, and after disaster. And just recently, Grenada benefited significantly from the work of CDEMA, our trade agreement, which helps to move goods and services through the region.
He emphasized that CARICOM remains the foundation upon which many key regional decisions are made, noting that its collective strength continues to deliver meaningful outcomes for member states.
So there are many things that CARICOM is already delivering to the region that people may not recognize, but I hope by mentioning these organizations that are part of the overall CARICOM makeup and structure, that people will recognize how important CARICOM is to regional advancement and development. And it's really to ensure that leaders would also share their own vision of what the agenda should be, what they think the meeting should look like, what should be discussed openly and in private, and what should be the outcome of the meeting.
The Cannabis Secretariat of the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry advises that although the Drug Abuse Amendment Bill 2026 has been passed in both houses of Parliament, the decriminalization provisions are not yet in force. The approved bill will first go before the Governor General for assent. Once the Governor General assents and signs the bill, it becomes an act of Parliament and is officially a law. The law will come into force when it is published in the official government gazette or on a specified date. The bill introduces Phase 1 of the decriminalization of cannabis in Grenada, permitting approved religious, medicinal, and scientific use, limited possession for adults aged 21 and over, registered household cultivation, and strengthens protections for children and young persons through mandatory rehabilitative responses. The bill specifically restricts public use of cannabis and the use near schools and provides for the expungement of minor past cannabis convictions. Phase 2 of the decriminalization process will see the drafting of a regulatory and administrative framework for the development of the cannabis industry in Grenada. Until the legislation is formally brought into operation, all existing cannabis laws remain fully applicable and enforceable. Measures are being implemented to support residents of Carriacou and Petite Martinique as authorities work to manage water supplies on the islands. The National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, has confirmed that its treatment plant in Carriacou is currently offline for repairs. In the interim, water is being transported from mainland Grenada to help bridge any gaps in supply, particularly as the carnival season brings an influx of visitors to the sister isle. In a social media update, Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government, Honorable Tevin Andrews, emphasized that the shipments are precautionary measures aimed at ensuring continuity of service. He assured residents that there is no water crisis on the island.
Water was shipped up to Carriacou last night or early this morning, 2 a.m. this morning, on the Tilbury Express, complements Nawasa. And those water was stored in bladders and other storage tanks, etc. And therefore, those water are being transported to critical areas, our schools, our senior citizen home, government buildings, hospital, police station, etc. And of course, some will be also given to some of our guest houses or hotels or restaurants, etc., that are in need of water. Of course, those measures are taken into consideration that for the weekend we'll have a large number of large influx of people in Carriacou for the carnival. So we're gonna have good food taken front, and that's exactly what we're doing. In addition to that, please note that we're not experiencing a water crisis, but we are only taking precautionary measures.
Minister Andrews further noted that his ministry has partnered with a local provider to boost water storage capacity at key government institutions and critical facilities, including schools and healthcare centers. These arrangements are intended to maintain adequate reserves while repair work continues.
Also, we also have a local individual that is producing water on island, Mr. Guadalupe, that we've partnered with. And the government do have over 100,000 gallons of water in its storage throughout the length and breadth of Carriacou. So all that is being done is to take the precautionary measures, taking into consideration that we would have a large influx of people on the island. And we needed our critical facilities to have sufficient water for that period. So that's exactly that's what's happening. I just needed you to be updated and informed. So please note and know that we are working assiduously to rectify the issue at the Seaview plant. Very soon you'll hear from Nawasa and the team about the progress that has been made.
Meanwhile, NAWASA has implemented water regulations across the island to facilitate equitable distribution and allow households sufficient time to replenish their storage tanks. Authorities say they will continue to monitor the situation closely and provide updates as restoration efforts progress. Grenada is set to come alive with international cricket action as the West Indies women prepare to host the Sri Lanka women's team for 6 days of competitive matches at the National Cricket Stadium. The teams will battle each other in 3 one-day international and 3 T20 games. More in this Abigail McIntyre report.
The series bowls off on Friday, February 20th, with a one-day international from 10 a.m. as fans across the region look forward to an exciting contest filled with big hits, disciplined bowling spells, and sharp fielding from the home side. In a recent interview with GIS, Trinidadian off-spin bowler Karishma Ramharak says the team is eager to return to the field together and is encouraging supporters to come out in full force.
Look, definitely exciting games. Of course, the improvement that we've been, working on behind the scenes. And trust me, we're really, really hungry to play cricket again. So you can look forward to that passion and that hunger coming in the next couple of days. It's going to be my first time as well. But I've been around for some time and I've never had a series in Grenada. So for me, it's, a really good experience for myself. And I'm sure a lot of other girls who hasn't played there, but I heard it's a really beautiful country and I'm looking forward to it.
This series marks the first time the West Indies women will be competing together in international cricket since June last year. Ramharak notes that women's cricket continues to grow in strength and support across the region, and she believes the team is building positive momentum heading into this series. However, she emphasizes that consistency with both bat and ball will be key, especially against a Sri Lankan side known for its resilience and tactical discipline. She says maintaining tight lines and lengths, building partnerships at the crease, and executing game plans under pressure will be critical to securing victories.
What I believe is that we sometimes lack belief in ourselves. We lack, I feel, the mental part where we can defeat any team that we put forth in front of us. We've done it before in the past. I think consistently is where we lack that. We've beaten Australia in a T20 match. We've chased down 213, which is probably the highest score ever that a team has chased winning a match. We beat India in India. We beat England. So sometimes it's, I feel, just the lack of consistency. And as long as we continue to grow as a team and we start believing more in ourselves, I think, we'd be in a good place.
Meanwhile, all eyes will be on Grenada's own Afi Fletcher, who will have the opportunity to represent the West Indies women on home soil. The experienced leg spinner is expected to make a strong impact with her variations and control in the middle overs. Ramharak says she is extremely proud of Fletcher's achievements and believes Grenada has produced a true gem in the sport.
Afi Fletcher is a legend of the game. She has so much knowledge. The fact that she wants to continue improving, and she shows that every time she steps out on the field. I think for me it's all about her commitment to the game and wanting to do well for West Indies cricket stays with me, and the fact that she keeps learning every single time we step out on the field. I think that for me is really, really massive as a cricketer, and Afi is a living example of that. And I'm absolutely proud of the way she goes about her game and how much she has achieved for herself and her country.
With 6 days of international cricket on the cards, fans can expect high-intensity matchups, strategic battles between batters and bowlers, and a showcase of the continued rise of women's cricket in the Caribbean. For the GIS News, I am Abigail McIntyre.
Thank you, Abigail. We'll take a short break and return with more news.
The journey of 1,000.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy is spearheading a new government initiative that will introduce electric engines on fishing vessels in Grenada. The initiative, known as the NDC Tech Project, is supported by the German Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, and the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency. It forms part of a broader regional effort being implemented in several Caribbean countries. In Grenada, the project has been tailored to focus on reducing greenhouse gas emissions within the marine transport sector, following discussions at the national level. While the program was initially designed to provide electric-powered vessels for the Coast Guard, it has since been expanded to include the wider fishing community. Under the pilot phase, electric propulsion motors will be installed on fishing vessels that conduct daytime operations, as well as boats used to patrol marine protected areas. The move is expected to lower fuel consumption, reduce operational costs, and decrease the carbon footprint of the sector. The project will first be rolled out through 3 fishing cooperatives: Guave, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. A stakeholders meeting was held this week with members of the cooperatives and key project partners to outline the implementation plan and gather feedback ahead of the pilot launch.
So what is happening now is as a result of a number of consultations and investigations that have been done from 2 fronts. One, to look at an environmental, social, and impact assessment and to validate the information that was captured to finalize this assessment. And 2, from data that was collected from the fishing vessels, because they were monitoring the equipment that were placed on these vessels to look at the operations, how far they go out, how long they go out for, how fast, the weight of the vessels based on the catches. And so a design concept is now going to be provided to the fisher folks to indicate what these motors are going to look like, the size, the capacity, what the battery is going to look at. It's also going to be looking at the renewable energy charging infrastructure that will be required to charge these batteries at the various locations. So essentially, at the Coast Guard base, there'll be charging infrastructure. For the beneficiary cooperatives as Gov, Carriacou, and Partygrenada, there's going to also be charging infrastructure from renewable energy so that when these vessels come back in on evenings, they can charge and be ready to go out the next day.
That was Leslie Smith, Director of Renewable Energy in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy. Mr. Smith says it is anticipated that once the pilot proves successful, the initiative could trigger a wider transformation of the marine transport sector toward cleaner and more sustainable energy solutions.
The expectation is that maybe by the middle of this year, we will see the first electric motor being installed on one of the vessels so that we can capture the data again, we can see if it's fit for purpose, if it's suitable. And I want to make the point that this is not something that we are imposing on the fishing community. It's a pilot project. We see benefits from it. We think it can work. We're going to pilot it on one vessel first, and then we're going to do it on several of the vessels in the 3 fishing cooperatives that I mentioned. And then once it is successful, the project can then be upscaled, the fishermen can get involved. So we're also working on the ownership framework for these vessels as well. How do we transfer the ownership of this project to the fishermen through the cooperative or any other means that comes out from the consultation we're having? This is a step from this pilot project that we hope will be very successful, that can be upscaled to other fisher folks and other fishing communities in Grenada, that we can see more energy efficiency, less operation and fuel costs, zero maintenance as it requires, a more profitable operation, and to bolster our own energy security and energy resilience amidst all of these climatic conditions that we have within the environmental space.
Education officials in Carriacou says the future of entrepreneurship on the island looks bright as 3rd and 4th form business students at Hillsborough Secondary School concluded the 5th year of the Business Forum. The forum provides a platform for students to explore and develop creative business ideas. This year, the 3rd form students displayed and sold Valentine's Day themed products. Head of the business department at the institution, Mrs. Modeste, said the initiative is in keeping with the school's commemoration of Business Month in February. She explained the idea is to teach them how to operate a business in the future.
Some of the categories being judged are best customer service, best booth, best display, most intelligent student. That is related to how they answer the questions asked by the judge. We have most sales today, most profit. The aim of these 2 competitions is to actually teach the students how to run and operate a business in the future. I am trying to get them to be young entrepreneurs so that when they finish school, at least they have some sort of business idea to set up their own business in the future. So yesterday, as I said, we had students making small business products from skincare, hair care to anything you could think about. It's in 2 parts. They have this, the practical, and they were required to do a business plan, which is the written part for the potential business.
Former business teacher Irva Martino and Minister for Carriacou and Partygrenada Affairs, Honorable Tevin Andrews, are encouraged by the displays. The future of business in Carriacou is bright.
I'm seeing a lot of the students elevated from last year. They would have observed last year, and they try to maintain a higher standard. So I'm seeing a lot of variety, some that we did not see over the years. So I'm seeing how the children are progressing nicely. They're improving all the time. So the turnout was really nice today. The stalls are beautifully decorated. So I'm seeing a lot of efforts put into this venture. I think the students are very excited. Although it is very costly, but I think the students are very excited. I've questioned some of them, asked them they want to continue. Some of them said they may not, they will do it like a side hustle. not like the main, you know. Yeah, so the future is very bright in terms of doing business.
It means that our future is bright. I just hope that we can continue to harness and to encourage this so that they can grow and really and truly become good business people in a not too distant future.
Minister Andrews commended the teachers and students on the success of the initiative, which he's optimistic will continue to grow.
I'm always encouraged when I see young people engage in positivity. And a lot of people that can cook, and a lot of people that can do and could own positive businesses in the future. I was here yesterday and I saw the talent that was displayed by the POV students of Form 4. And they had several different products, from oils to body products to hair product, etc., skin products, etc. Excellent. And today we're here with the Form 3 students, I believe, the food and nutrition Form 3 students who have the business plan, business ideas, went out, marketed businesses, and are here showcasing and selling their products. So this is an excellent initiative. The students and the class, the teacher, or the teachers responsible for this must be commended, highly commended for initiatives like this. And we need to see more of these. It means that our future is bright. I just hope that we can continue to harness and to encourage this so that they can grow and really and truly become good business people in a not too distant future.
Akela Roberts, Miss String Band, walked away with the title of Miss Carriacou and Petit Martinique Carnival Queen Pageant 2026 last evening. Roberts copped prizes for Best Evening Wear, Best in Evening Wear, Best Costume, and Best in Costume. The 2026 pageant sets the stage for the final competitions in commemoration of the island's annual festival. GIS spoke to Roberts following her victory.
I'm so happy because I worked so hard for this. I am looking forward to representing my island, carriacou and Petit Martinique.
Chaperone Gary Blair spoke about preparation for the show with Jaleesa Samuel, Miss Boat Building.
It's a lot of work from day one when they asked me to chaperone Jaleesa. I took that with grace, although I run a full-time business on my own, which is Gary's Sauces and Snacks Beach Bar in Petit Martinique. She's based in carriacou. She's a teacher here, but I tried my best. So I had to work with swimwear, costume, talent, and evening gown. So I designed the evening gown, and we get somebody from Petit Martinique to sew it. Andre Gavi did the costume in Grenada. I think the committee added the swimwear and the talent. My cousin Odinga Blair, she helped me with the talent. So it's a lot of work, a lot of effort. I had to close my business for a whole entire week to chaperone Jaleesa to be here. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Her overall performance, I'm very pleased. We work hard, tireless night, sleepless night. She's also a student at UE. She studies online, so I have to be up with her at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm satisfied with her performance. I push her sometimes, you have to nudge them a little harder to get what you want out of them. So I give her some tough love, and I think she did excellent.
Contestant number 3, Hannah Louie, was forced out of competition due to ill health. Her chaperone, Sheena Bristol, says carriacou is proud of her persistence.
Miss Louie has actually been plagued with dengue for the past few days. I honestly want to commend her for her efforts because it has been a challenging journey for her, but she came out swinging tonight, but unfortunately had to pull out of competition because of ill feeling. She did rise above her challenges, just health was a little bit stronger, but she did rise.
Zarika John, representing the village of Flag and Cake Dancing, placed second. She was followed by Jaleesa Samuel in position 3, and Deanne St. Bernard, Miss Big Drum Dancing, secured the 4th position. That's a wrap for the local segment. Regional news coming up after the break. Welcome back. For the third straight general election, the Barbados Labour Party, BLP, claimed every seat in the House of Assembly, delivering yet another 30-0 mandate to Prime Minister-elect Mia Mottley and solidifying her dominance of the island's political landscape on Wednesday. Jubilant celebrations erupted at the party's Roebuck Street headquarters, Grantley Adams House, as results rolled in through the night, with supporters gathered in a swirling sea of red t-shirts. Mottley marked the victory by declaring Friday a national public holiday and announcing a national Thanksgiving and celebration rally for Saturday, Valentine's Day, at the National Botanical Gardens. Addressing supporters after the landslide result, Mottley said the victory carried responsibility, not entitlement.
But even as we have won tonight, as convincingly, we do not turn our eyes away from the concerns of our constituents, constituency by constituency. We do not turn our eyes away from the things that ordinary Bajans want us to redouble our efforts on and to refocus. And whether it is traffic or roads, or the state of our healthcare, or indeed the issue of public safety, I give you this assurance tonight at 111 Roebuck Street, that this team that I have the utmost honor to lead will be required to be able to make progress on all of these areas.
She stressed the need to protect democratic institutions despite repeated overwhelming mandates, even as she rejoiced in the victory of each BLP candidate over the main challenger, the DLP. Democratic Labour Party President Ralph Thorne indicated he was stepping down from the leadership of the party following its third successive 3-0 seat loss to the Barbados Labour Party, conceding that although the result was very disappointing, the 70-year-old party remained resourceful and would rebuild without him at the helm. He was speaking to reporters in the early hours of Thursday morning at the DLP's George Street headquarters, surrounded by several of the party's candidates, all of whom failed to end the Barbados Labour Party's red wash of the 30 seats at stake in the House of Assembly and prevent the Mia Mottley-led party from achieving a three-peat by again winning every constituency. In 2018 and 2022, the DLP suffered 3-0 defeats to the BLP, which swept the polls in unprecedented victories. That's a look at news for today, Friday, February 13th. A recap of the top stories. Cannabis Secretariat reminds the public that cannabis decriminalisation provisions are not yet in effect. And Grenada is ready for 6 days of women's international cricket. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis, thanking you for joining us.